All right. I've got a question for all of you. And I don't care if you're a Miami fan, Florida State fan, Alabama, Georgia, it doesn't matter. I want your response. Would you rather be off-season champs or off-season chumps? You tell me. What's going on, Canes fans? Welcome to another topic that I have desperately wanted to discuss. And now that the offseason is here, we can finally talk about it. Miami being off-season champions once again, and opposing teams' fans continuously throwing that in our faces and saying that it never equals anything during the actual season once football is finally played. And I do want to come out and say, up to this point, they have mostly been correct. I don't believe that Miami has earned anyone's respect, and I don't expect to receive any. But I do think it's funny because it really doesn't make sense at the end of the day. Like, when you think about this, do you want good things to happen in the offseason or bad things to happen? I mean, I think the answer is really obvious, right? And the reason why Canes fans still get excited during the offseason when Miami makes big moves is because we would all like to hope that eventually it does lead to some big production on the field. And either way, making big moves in the offseason is still way more promising than not. And here's what's also funny. For Miami, we get clowned either way. And let me give you an example. Let's look at a recent example of this. Cam Ward. During the offseason, everyone talked about Cam Ward is a good QB. So, of course, he passed on Miami. That's what everyone said when he made his announcement. He said, I'm declaring for the NFL draft. And all across social media, Florida State fans especially, they came out and they said, well, yeah, he's a pretty good, solid quarterback. Of course, he didn't go to Miami. He didn't want to ruin his chances of going to the NFL. But now, fast forward to him changing his mind and choosing Miami, and now he's trash. Now he fumbles all the time. Now he only went to Miami because his draft grade was so bad and he had no other choice. It's always trying to spin it. No matter what. If we land a top 5 recruiting class, well, Miami won't do anything with them. They're just going to ruin all those guys. It's too bad. But then if Miami land the number 35 ranked recruiting class, it would be, well, no recruits want to go to Miami and play for Mario. Ha ha. So you see, no matter what, we're going to get backlash and everyone's going to make fun of us. And here's the only way to change it. Miami needs to change the narrative themselves. We need to handle business. We need to win football games. And we need to take this off-season champions thing and turn it into national champions. Now, here's the other thing. I am not coming out and saying that that's going to be the case in 2024. A lot of people watched my Florida State video that I uploaded yesterday, and they said, here we go, Coop. The U is back. Miami's beating Florida State. Miami's winning the ACC championship. I'm going to keep it real. Miami went 5-7 2 years ago. They flipped it and went 7-5 this past season. Realistically, I'm probably going to be hovering around 9 wins or so in 2024. Now, it is far too early to even put out a way too early prediction. You're not going to see me do that at least until after spring practice. But I feel like Miami is steadily climbing. And I do think that we take another positive step forward in 2024. Could it be more than that? I hope so, but I would probably be realistic and hover around 9 wins. What I think is funny also, I keep saying what I think is funny, but this stuff cracks me up. The thing that everyone always says, I saw it in the comment section on my last video, the U is back. Ha ha, Canes fans think the U is back. Offseason champs again, the U is back. Go under any post talking about the U being back, and I challenge you to read the comments under it. And most Canes fans never say those words. It is typically the media outlets using this as a headline to get clicks. Yes, we're excited. Of course we'll be hype. the majority of Canes fans are not saying the U is back. I cannot speak for everyone. Of course, there are going to be fans that say that. There are all types of different fans in every fan base. There are Florida State fans that are saying that you guys are winning a national championship in 2024. I also saw Florida State fans on my video say, hey, we're not that optimistic. We're taking a wait and see approach. So there'll always be different types of fans. But overall, I'm telling y'all for real, I would say that the majority of Miami fans are not saying the U is back. They're not. They're remaining hopeful, but they're not saying that. So I just wanted to say that I don't get the argument here, how it's funny to make big moves in the offseason. The only argument they have is that we've made big moves and we haven't really done much with it. I'm with them on that. I honestly, I do not even have a counter argument for that because it's true. We haven't done much with it. But to be fair, I don't put 20 years of disappointment on Mario Cristobal's shoulders. Does he need to be better? Of course. Was his first season terrible? Absolutely. Is he still making a lot of the same boneheaded game day decisions? Yes, he is. And he doesn't get a pass for those things. Not from me, anyways. But we are steadily seeing some slow progress, and that's what I personally expected. Me, Coop. And I'm not going to push that on anyone else, but I do put my feelings and thoughts out there. And I said in 2023, I expected to win 7 or 8 games, and we took a small step, not a leap forward. And I think that's exactly what Miami did. And it's what I think they'll do again in 2024. Year 3 for Mario Cristobal, everyone says the money year, but it's year 2 with some consistency. So I would like to see, we've talked about this, 3 years of consistency. So really what I'm going to have circled, if we can keep Dawson and Guidry, is I'm going to have 2025 circled. It's unfortunate, at least it seems that way right now, that Cam Ward only has 1 year of eligibility left, because we'll have to see how the quarterback room looks in 2025. But that would be the year that I personally would have circled. If Mario Cristobal wins 8, 9 games in 2024, he's not on the hot seat. You might want him to be, but I'm talking about from a coaching standpoint, from a job point of view, he's not on the hot seat. It might warm up a little bit, but he's definitely not on the hot seat. As long as he's continuing to recruit at a high level, I'm talking top 10, top 5 recruiting classes, and we're not going backwards in the win column, Mario Cristobal is not going to be on any kind of hot seat, even with some of the questionable, time management decisions that he's made. So, I'm just happy that Miami has continued to make big-time moves because I wouldn't expect that after 5-7 or 7-5. How many teams go 7-5 and land a number 5 recruiting class? How many teams only win 5 games and bring in a top 10 recruiting class? Honestly, I feel like that's almost unheard of. But a lot of these teams that are continuously at the top do make big-time moves in the offseason. They are also off-season champs, but they make the most of it, and they find a way to make that translate to wins, to production on the field, and that's what Miami needs, and I'm hoping that we're a little bit better about making that happen in 2024. But I'm telling you guys, my floor is not 10 or 11 or 12 wins, ACC championship game. That's what I'm hoping for. But realistic Coop is going to probably hover around 9. And, we're going to get clowned and made fun of for that if that does happen. But it is technically positive progress when we're purely talking about wins and losses. We'll have to evaluate it and see how those wins happen and how the losses happen. But we'll cross that bridge whenever we get there. So I'm fine with being off-season champs. I hope it leads to more eventually. But I would rather good things happen than bad things happen. So don't let these opposing teams' fans get you all riled up whenever they poke fun at us for that, because they'll just spin it and turn it around when Miami does eventually find a way to win, and they'll try to find a way to get this whole thing to fit whatever their narrative is. They'll backpedal, they'll delete tweets, all of a sudden comments will vanish, and Miami fans will be laughing. So, hey, Offseason champs, once again, it is what it is. I'd rather be a champ than a chump. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.